Hey, welcome back to Grounded Growing Living. George Anthony here. So it's a cloudy, rainy day. It just started raining as soon as I came outside. But this is a perfect day that I'm going to plant some blueberry bushes outside and some other berry canes and see what else we get going on in the garden. Hopefully also today I'm going to get the wood chip delivery so I can start making the paths. Okay, so the rain passed and I did some online work and now I'm ready to get started out here. I've marked off a little bit of lines just to give me an idea how I want to fit my blueberries in. I'm going to take all of this grass away and even these cute little purple flowers. I'm not sure what they are. Violets, I guess. And hopefully they'll stay intact and I can just move this sod somewhere else. And what have I learned about blueberries so far? Blueberries have shallow root system, so you need to really take care of the area around to make sure that there's no competition. Blueberries like slightly more acidic soil, and a lot of people recommend to use some kind of pine amending, like pine needles from trees, to help get that pH of your soil. So I'm going to plant the blueberries underneath of this cedar tree here. That will probably be a good start. And I'm also going to take a little bit of the soil from some other places as well and use a pine mulch. Hopefully that's not too much though, right? And last thing is that apparently blueberries will pollinate and fruit better if there's several varieties close by each other. So I've got just one variety, two bushes, and hopefully later on I can get another one or two varieties to plant into this box here as well. Sun's going to be mostly coming from this angle, and the shade from the tree won't be too much, I think, even as we get on further into the year in summer when the sun's going to be more directly overhead. I'm hoping behind the bushes and on the other side of the tree as well, I can turn that into some mushroom farming area where I can inoculate logs, straw, and so on. And if I get to that today too, I have some jars which I already grew mycelium from mushrooms from the grocery store, crimini mushrooms, button mushrooms, the really common white ones that people eat in North America, which is the same mushroom as a portobello, but it's just how much time it's been given to grow. And also have oysters and shiitake mycelium in jars as well. So I'm going to put that with some wood chips and some straw and set that into some containers and try to grow that outside here. All right, so let's take this sod out as the first part. So I built some of this stone wall back here when I was a teenager, and I used to live in the basement here, and it was also the band room. And me and three friends, we played a lot of loud, crazy music. And I live in a valley. The valley goes this way, and the neighbors over there sometimes really didn't like the music we played. And I understand, because we were teenagers. I don't have any of that music anymore to share with you. Some of it was okay, but a lot of it was very fast and punk rock. Punk rock. So I'm just gonna take the sod and lay it behind this old wall where it's been sinking in a little bit. Okay, as expected, it's really compacted. When I dug over at the other spot, just to take the sod off, some places were so compacted I could barely get the shovel through it. So I'm going to go through and loosen it up a little bit with the pickaxe, mix in some of the good soil that I've been taking from the wood line, and then we'll amend it with the pine mulch. Okay, I probably went a little overboard, but now we're ready to put in the rich soil. Okay, so the bed's ready. I just unwrapped these blueberry bushes And the instructions say that you should soak these before you plant them. However, that's usually instructions for dormant plants, and since these are already growing leaves, and this one was even flowering already, I'm just going to plant them and give them a good water like we do. The flowering bush here, I've flicked. The flowering bush here, I picked the flowers off because we want the bush to focus on its root development and overall growth for the first season, maybe first year even. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how well they grow, and maybe by later in the season we'll let them flower if they have the mood for it, right? Now when we put them in the ground, we want it to be same level as the packaging that this plant is already in, the dirt around the stem, with our level of our fill in the bed. I'm going to put this one in a little deeper actually. Now we're on a nice level there. Alright, now let's just get some pine needles and mulch it over. Water time! Alright, last thing. It's still before our last frost date here. So if we get a frost coming, which I'm hoping we don't, I'm just going to cover these with some bins. And they should be a little slowed down, but should be fine, right? That's going to be the video. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you next time. Grounded Growing Living. And here's today's garden treasure. Is it from my childhood? Is it from an ancient person's childhood? Who knows?